So we're going to be listening to a fan request. So we were requested to listen to this by YouTube user Genesis Bourbon 7314.
Yeah, Genesis Bourbon 7314. Beep, 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 beep.
It is time.
So Genesis Bourbon 7314 said, guys, on March 31st, the solo music of Jisoo, the visual and lead vocalist of Blackpink, premieres. She's the only member of the group who still did not have her own songs as a soloist. It would be excellent if you could react to her solo on the day of its premiere. It would give more momentum and recognition to their channel, and at the same time, they would support Jisoo with their song. Jisoo is also, she notes, a global ambassador of Dior and Cartier.
No way.
Yeah.
The Cartier or Cartier is that how it's pronounced?
That's
Cartier.
dope.
Yeah, I think all of them, they each have like ambassador, like all of them are just all the things.
They got,
sure.
they got it made.
Yeah, they're it. And so, what day is it, guys? It's March 31st, the day that this came out. So we're going to be listening to Jisoo from the album that just came out called Me. This is the song Flower right here on Galaxy Jams Reacts. Nice, saw that
A little, yeah.
that branding right there.
만큼 착했던 나 그 눈빛이 싹 변했지 어쩜 또 하나니까 난 파란 나비처럼 날아가 잡지 못한 건 넌 네 몫이니까 활짝 꽃피웠던 시간도 이제 모두 내게 lie 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 붉게 다 버려진 너와 나 난 괜찮아 넌 괜찮을까 구름 한 점 없이 예쁜 날 꽃향기만 남기고 갔단다
That's really cool.
꽃향기만 남기고 갔단다 You and me
Like their use of color in these videos.
뜨거웠지만
Yeah, their use of color.
처참하게 짓밟혀진 내 하나뿐인 라일락 난 하얀 꽃잎처럼 날아가 잡지 않는 것은 너니까 살랑살랑 부는 바람에 이끌려보만 오지만 우리 my bye bye 붉게 다 버려진 너와 난 괜찮아 넌 괜찮을까 구름 한 점 없이 예쁜 날 꽃향기만 남기고 갔단다
Oh my God, it's so hard to find a place where to stop this.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like so intoxicating. I think it's cool. It sounds like, like a coming of age type of thing, like realizing who you are and what you want and, the duality of like the different personalities that you're having and things like that. And I think it's, obviously a really well done video. And I really like all the dancing too. It's interesting, and it just sounds so like traditional but new age at the same time.
It's it's a really cool song. Like just the video, looking at the video, like I'm glad that we found out that she's an ambassador for Dior and Cartier. Like it has that kind of vibe, like a designer vibe, like almost like an old money vibe. Like there's a certain like cool wealth about it. Not brazen, ostentatious, but like a little bit of subtlety, the use of color, dancing. There's a lot of polish there, which is really cool. The beat and the instrumentations, everything is so crisp and up front, and like you get like the subtle nuances and some of the hits of like the various instruments and things. So it's very textural, which is interesting. She's got a great voice, and there's a lot of space like I've said this before, but there's a lot of space to kind of let the song breathe, which is pretty cool. And I do like that drop and kind of the vocal effects they did there, which is unique to me. So I don't know. It's a satisfying listen. This isn't like a 150 miles an hour straight to the dome kind of song, but this is I think that this is a unique voice compared to the full group persona.
What do you
Absolutely.
think, Lucy?
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I always just really enjoy watching these music videos because they're all such productions. I mean, it's like almost like watching a feature film. It's just so beautifully filmed, and the colors, the textures, like the attention to detail. I would love to know like how long it takes to film just one of these.
It's a cool question, right?
Yeah, because oh my gosh, that there's not a single mistake anywhere. Every little line has been thought of. Every little piece of paper on the ground. Every pedal.
Yeah. All of those pieces of paper on the ground, someone probably like looked at it and was like, "No, that one."
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's too cluttered over here. We have to spread it out. It has to be a more chaotic.
But I also love, as I'm being kind of newly introduced to the K-pop world, I am definitely very appreciative of like the sort of jack of all trades talent that they have. The dancing is so awesome. I love that. She also has an amazing voice. I'm just blown away by it. Honestly, I'm like pretty quiet on this one because I'm just sitting back and like.
Right. It's one of those things that I think that you got to watch it like 100 times and then you're like, oh my God, I keep seeing things about it.
And it just needs to be said again. So Genesis Bourbon is reminding us that she's like the lead visual stylist for Blackpink. And I think that really is a testament to her talent and just how very different all their music videos that we've seen so far look, and how completely different this looks compared to a traditional Blackpink video. So just real cool. And that's a breadth of talent, being able to swing wildly between different vibes.
Yeah, she's also. Oh, go ahead, EJ.
I was gonna say it's also a deviation from like the hard hitting stuff we've been seeing from like Blackpink, right? It's like a more breathy song. It's a more open song, like you were talking about. It breathes, and I mean her beautiful falsetto that she has in the song, I think, is impressive. I also like the kind of Latin tinged melody they have, and kind of like island Caribbean styled inspired like percussion that's going on. It's a lot different than a lot of the heavy trap stuff that we've been watching previously.
I also kind of love how she's just so poised and classy. Like, what a great example of a role model, like
right.
She just wears every single one of these outfits so well, and she's such a good dancer, but it's something like I would aspire to be. I think if I were, well, I mean, certainly even now, but if I were like a young kid watching this, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I want to be exactly like her.
One last thing I was thinking about is that Adam, you mentioned that it's like old wealth, right? And we just watched like a video by The Weeknd, and in that song, he's in like a big fancy mansion that's like clean and everything's made out of glass, and he's driving like these one of a kind sports cars, and they're able to like, give you that kind of like, ooh, like this is some bougie shit, but in a different, more like elegant, classy, not so in your face way. It's the subtleties, and I feel like, with K-pop and with Blackpink and with this video, they're all in the same arena. They're all playing the same game. So what's setting all of these acts and all of this kind of genre apart is like those little subtle things, because in an arena of pop stars where money, talent, that's not an issue, right? Then how can you rise above, that? Like, how can you get from the second highest level to the highest level? And the only way to do that is like the devil's in the details.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I mean, then they don't tell you that when you're starting a band or starting a music group. Is like, yeah, you got to be a marketer, you got to be a visual stylist. You get like, if you want to achieve a certain level of mainstream success, you have to be a great songwriter, you have to be a great lyricist, you have to be a great musician,
right?
At least if you're doing traditional instruments or whatever. And it's hard, and I've said this on the show before. Like there are some incredibly amazing bands that are playing the corner of some smoky bar somewhere, and they'll never do anything because they don't know how to do the other pieces of it. Like,
Oh yeah.
Well, it also reminds me of like bluegrass music in that, think about what bluegrass music is, right? It's such stripped down and it's just the instruments and voice and songwriting. So if you have like 50 amazing bluegrass bands, what's going to set that one bluegrass band apart from the other is the subtleties, that's
Right.
the subtle nuance in his voice, or, the slightly different way they like phrase their songs, right? Like, because like when you're in that bluegrass arena, like there's the constraints are there just as the same as when you're in huge pop star arena, which is that there are no constraints. And so when you have like 50 entities, for example, that can do whatever the hell they want because they have so much money and so much talent, like how do you separate like the top from the 50,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's crazy.
There's an element to her that just seems so mature to me. I think that's maybe what I was trying to get at earlier too, with like the poise. You can tell she does have that element of star power where
Right. Oh.
she has all the talent, but she's very, very poised, and you can just see in her face,
Oh, yeah.
like she gets it and nothing is going to phase her. And
Mhm.
she can handle like the heat and the pressure of what this industry brings. And I feel like this video really displays that well.
oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking the same thing when we were watching BTS. Like when it zoomed in on that guy,
They look
right,
so
it was-
calm.
You're just like they
Yeah.
were born to do this, and they know it. Like
There's no hesitation.
Yeah, there's no like what's it called where you have like a complex where you imposter syndrome.
Yep.
Right. There's no
Right.
imposter syndrome here. Like you can't like look back at all. Like you always have to be like forward.
It
right?
doesn't feel conceited to me either,
Right.
though.
Exactly.
Like I don't get the sense like, oh, I'm just better than all of you. I get the sense like, no, this is my job, and I take my job really seriously,
Yes.
and I'm going to execute this perfectly because that's what I was trained to do, and that's what I love to do.
Yeah. I'm typing this comment really quickly.
Oh, her voice
Okay,
deep
great.
and raspy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Lalit Pradhan in the chat says, what I like about Jisoo is that her voice is deep and raspy. That's cool. It's good to be different, and especially when you have 4 of them, like you got to each have your own personalities and like things that like, you don't want 2 of them to be too similar. Each of them has to be like the 4 corners of a circle,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
that was slick there.
Let's go, baby. Let's jump back in.
꽃향기만 남기고 갔단다 이젠 안녕 goodbye 뒤는 절대 안봐 미련이란 이름에 입새 하나뿐
Love that shot.
너에게서 떨어져 꽃향기만 남아
Look at that. It's like all these different, she looked different in each one of their shots.
That was really cool.
It's like an actual flower.
Yeah.
꽃향기만 남기고 갔단다
Swag.
Damn,
Dope.
dude. I feel like that was like the definition of like elegance.
Yes. Elegance.
Yeah.
It's exactly how I felt about the entire experience. It was just beautiful too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the colors were beautiful, and the symbolism of the flower, and like physically, and then sort of lyrically throughout the song. It's really cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again so much to Genesis Bourbon 7314 for suggesting this song for us to listen to. Let us know what you think about this song and what Blackpink song we should listen to next. Hi, this is Mike with Galaxy Jams Reacts. We hope that you enjoyed that React video. Be sure to check out the links below of when we're going to be live streaming our next show and also how to watch full episodes. Please hit that subscribe button. Every single one helps.